67 days until Election Day. We want to make sure that you are prepared and that none of the deadlines sneak up on you. Just recently, folks in Davie County were getting text messages saying they are not registered to vote. Hey, you know what? North Carolina election officials say this is a scam. They will never send mass mailings or text messages to encourage voter registration. So we're going to be separating a lot of fact from fiction today. Guilford County Board of Elections Director Charlie Collicutt is joining us live with the info that you need to know. He's also taking your questions, answering them directly. You can text us 336-379-5775. All right, Charlie, I mean, you just heard the stuff that was happening in Davie County. We just want to reiterate one more time. People are not going to get text messages from you guys.
Right. We're not doing text messages or mass communications to voters. There's great ways to check to see if you're registered, but we're not going to do that.
Okay, let's kind of go through all the deadlines and the dates that people need to know. So absentee voting is about to get underway. What are some of the important dates that people need to plan on?
Yeah, well, the big one is that next Friday, the 6th, we're going to start mailing ballots out. But there's some other deadlines to request a ballot. It's October 9th. October 29th, the week before the election. You've got to get that request into us. And then we are going to be taking those back until election night, November 5th at 7:30.
Okay.
Those are the other big deadlines. And then, yeah, we're getting them out now. And as we get those requests, we'll get the ballot out to you.
All right, so that is the big deal too. Something that started the last time that we voted, that when you send in your absentee ballot, it has to be in-house on Election Day.
Right, and that is a change from past years. So this year in 2024 is the first time we've done this. We have to have that ballot in our hands by 7:30 at night on Tuesday, November 5th. There's no exception to that.
Right, so no, it just has to be postmarked by that day. It actually has to be there by that day. All right, let's talk about early voting, when it begins, what people can do as they're early voting.
Yeah, so in Guilford County, we've got 28 early voting sites this year. So that's a lot. And we're starting on October 17th, going all the way till November 2nd. On the weekdays, we're 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And we've got some Saturdays and a Sunday in there. And so we've just got a lot of opportunities. Anybody in Guilford County can come vote at any of our Guilford County early voting sites.
Okay, and there's something special about early voting as well. If you're not registered, you can actually register and vote.
That's right, and that's a really important thing to note. For early voting only, if you are not registered to vote, you can come and do same-day registration. Register and vote. Those voters are going to need something with a proof of address, like a utility bill or maybe their driver's license or something like that. But yeah, if they've missed that reg deadline, they can certainly same-day register and vote.
Okay, and this is why this is important, because the deadline to register to vote is, let's put that up so that you can see it, it's October 11th.
That's right. So we're gonna do that October 11th deadline, and then when you hit that, you can register. You can vote early. You can vote by mail. You can vote on Election Day. That gets everything that you need taken care of. Okay. Now, if you miss that deadline, you can only go to early voting to register and vote.
Right. So there's not going to be any, I want to register and vote on the day of the election.
That's correct. There is no registration on Election Day. It is only during early voting.
Okay, we want to make that clear. All right, so the state updated rules. It's been going back and forth and all this kind of jazz, but you do need to bring an ID to vote at this point in time.
Yeah, and that's a 2024 thing that we're doing. We're requiring in North Carolina all voters to present a photo ID. Right. And even if you vote by mail, you're going to have to do a photocopy of that ID. And we've talked about it, and we'll continue to talk about what these IDs are and what are the exceptions. But it's something that we're going to have to do this year, and definitely have to do for this general election.
All right, and there's a whole slew of different kinds of ID cards and things that will be okay. You don't necessarily have to have a driver's license.
Right, a driver's license is great, but it can be other things: a passport, military ID. There are certain circumstances where we can take out of state IDs. We can print IDs out of our Board of Elections offices. So there's a lot of different things that can be used.
Okay, so we had talked about that Davie County thing, and you had said, there's an easy way for you to figure out whether you're registered or not, where you're registered, where all that kind of jazz. And so tell us about how that easy part is of all the things that we need to do to be able to figure that out.
Yeah, well, first of all, when you are registered in your county and you've never left that county and you've never re-registered elsewhere, you're fine. You do not need to re-register every election. So most voters that are registered once in Guilford are going to be okay. But if you're curious, if you get this text or call and you're curious and or you're just not sure if you've updated your address or whatever, there's you can go and do a voter lookup. We have a link to it on our website. The State Board of Elections has a great link. So just Google the State Board of Elections and they've got this great voter lookup tool. You put your name in, it's going to tell you where you vote, what's your sample ballot, what's your status, what elections have you voted in the past. Just some great tools for you to one, know if you're registered, if you're in the right place, and then find out all the information you need to go vote.
And to me, what's really key to that is the sample ballot, because I think so many people get into the polling space and then they were like, oh, I didn't realize all this other stuff was on the ballot.
Yeah, we see things, ads, we get things in the mail, and maybe they're for us, maybe they're for people that are a street over. There's a lot of confusion, and so get that sample ballot, and then when you go vote, there's no confusion over who's on my ballot. Well, this guy shook my hand, I don't see him, so that sample ballot's a great tool.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. We've got your questions coming up next, 336-379-5775.